Good morning, everyone. It has been quite the week, I guess, and some change. Hello, Jennifer. Jennifer is going to join me. I am walking around looking for my, except, where is she? Look, y'all are getting fresh face, just woke up. Oh, there you are. Hello, my dear. I'm looking at
Hello.
my tripod so I don't have to hold my phone the whole time.
Okay.
I think it's hanging up, but there's also, yep, there it is. Right
There
where I
we
said.
go.
I will show you while we're here. I will show you the aquarium
Nice.
number one,
Looks good.
right? And
Who's
that,
inside?
well, we got some babies to start with. Mason
Right.
got to pick them out yesterday. And then essentially the entire top of that will have plants coming out of it, like so we can propagate.
Cool.
And then we've got this one, which will be the same thing.
There
So
you go. Nice.
yeah.
I never thought about propagating outside of an aquarium. That's cool.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of research on it, and we just want the whole house to be a jungle. We're halfway there. So we got, look, all these will be full, and the plants will be able to come up here from the water. Now you know. Super cool. I hope that's not my Wi-Fi. If it is, it's probably because I'm moving around. Oh, where'd you go, Jennifer? She's frozen. We may. Oh, are you there? You're back.
I'm back.
I'm like,
I was
we
here.
may need to come back to this.
I don't know what that was, but that was fun.
Well, I'm glad you're back. Like I was saying, look, I am in my PJs still. I am no makeup. I had to put on a filter. I was like, let me put on a filter because the bags are rough, sister. The bags are rough. And the first thing I've got to do, I haven't even showered yet, but you know what I'm about to do while we sit here and chat.
This is the magic maker right here.
I love this so much. Anyway.
We got a call this morning. We had an ice snowstorm last night, so there was 2-hour delay this morning. So we're still, well, my 6-year-old is still sleeping, and I already dropped off my son, so it's been a morning. I just gotta say, if you live in the Midwest and you don't remember that you live in the Midwest, I'm sorry, get out of my way. I don't understand it. I will never understand it. I've lived where I have lived for 30 years this year, and it has been the same weather every season, every year for 30 years. People don't remember what to do when there's bad weather. It is just, biggest pet peeve, drives me up the wall.
That's so true. And you would think it would be better in other places like Alaska. Ooh. And it's not, because I live there. And it's not any better. You think people would be used to it? Negative. They just think, oh, I got these snow tires. I'm good. Or I'm just going to go super ridiculously slow because I don't have snow tires.
Right. That's my point. Like, my husband, when our first snow came in like early December, he's like, get the car in, get the tires checked, the treads are low, we need new ones, yada yada. Yeah. This first snow, everyone's going to come in and buy up all these weather tires, and we're not going to get a pair. I waited for the whole month of December. until the end. And then it's like, okay, well, now I guess I should. So I understand that procrastination piece because I am that procrastinator, but I also realize that I have a front wheel drive vehicle, and then I see all wheel drive vehicles driving around me and they're going way worse than I am.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's just, it is the worst feeling. But according to Mel Robbins, I'm supposed to just let them and let me.
Let them.
So here we go.
Yeah.
Healed adult version of me.
I don't know. I haven't been keeping up on anything outside of my own little bubble lately, which we can get to if you want.
Sure.
Just to chat about, just to put it out there.
Yeah.
But I heard there's some trademark war with Mel Robbins and Let Them, which I don't know anything about it. If anybody does, chime in, let us know.
First that I've heard.
But apparently there was a woman who wrote a poem about let them, and then Mel Robbins did her Let Them theory. But my perspective is, my mom used to tell me that all the time. Like when I would come home crying because somebody was mean to me, or some girl said something or said I was ugly, or a boy didn't like me or whatever, I'd be like, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? And she'd be like, it's not you, it's them. Just let them be them. Like, you do you, like, pretty much, not in those words, because she didn't talk like that, but like, you know what I mean? For lack of better terms, pretty much like, let them. Don't worry about them. Like, their opinions of you are none of your damn business.
It's definitely not an original statement, right? But I think the fact that she is using that in her book and somebody else is upset, there's going to be that kind of thing. I think music artists get pissed off all the time that their lines and their words and all of that stuff gets taken. So it's just somebody else is money hungry, right? They didn't get picked up like Mel Robbins did. So, now they have to get Mel Robbins money. And unfortunately, you hesitated, hon. That's all.
Here's the thing. Let them are two words, right?
Yes.
Her let them theory is her theory. The other chick's let whatever is her theory. Like, she's not trying to take your theory, your thoughts.
Right.
Like, it's
not
just
at all.
the one phrase. Like,
yeah.
So anyways, I don't really know much about it, like I said, but I didn't know if you had heard about it, because I know you are the Mel Robbins fan.
I'm a fan. I just don't dig into the minutia of all that drama. But that actually brings up a good point with content creators and people being so frustrated that their content ideas are stolen from, their original thought. And I know I saw Mosuri yesterday post about somebody's asking, can we be notified as a creator when our content is being remixed or shared from someone else? And his point to that statement was, well, when we catch that, we are definitely showing the original creator's content in place of that person who is reposting your reel. And I think
I can speak to that. I know that they do that.
Yeah, it's a good point to make, because we just had a mutual acquaintance of ours ask that question. I downloaded someone else's reel, and then I reposted their downloaded reel from my page. Does that affect my reach? And we were trying to explain that when you are a content creator and you are not that original creator of that content piece, Instagram likely will know. And in this example, that was like perfectly brought up from Mosuri, because it is something that happens. Original content creators do have their content stolen, reposted, redone, all of these things. And while we try and talk about, in our group, we try and talk about how to create an original idea, you still suck in the beginning because you don't know what you're doing. So you have to borrow or copy someone else's idea until you are able to learn and generate your own content. And I think that's something that is very lost around a bunch of people who are just posting things just to post it, thinking, well, I'll just reshare this reel because it was really good. There's ways to do that don't involve just like copying somebody else's content or not giving credit where credit is due, which I know Candace is all about that. She always, and it doesn't hurt you, by the way, if you repost or reshare someone else, some other creator's content and tag them as a collaborator. That is a topic we share in our group, and we explain in detail about that because there's validity behind what happens when you collaborate with other creators. It's not a mark against you, but there's a strategy that you can do that will help your own content grow. And I love getting into that topic. Sorry, this was like freaking left field. I don't mean to do that, but
no, but this is a great topic to start talking about. Like, this is a great topic to kind of go down a little bit of a rabbit hole with.
Yeah.
Okay? Because we, like you said, we have a mutual acquaintance that has said, you know, I took that video and I downloaded it, saved it, removed the watermark, and posted it to my account. And my question was, why?
Yeah.
Why would you do that? And because I have tested collaborations, you and I have done them. I have done them with other creators outside of my niche, outside of my following. Like, so I just did one the other day where I took his copy. It was his copy, word for word. The bearded, I forget his name. I'm about to pull it up so I don't look dumb. Luckily, I have my iPad. But I just shared it the other day about someone said, someone accidentally combined all good and no worries into all worries, and honestly, I've never related to anything more. And it was the Ann_average_beard, and I tagged him. I didn't add him as a collaborator because sometimes that goes on people's pages. You know, sometimes it's better to just tag. We collaborate with each other a lot, and there are other times where we'll collaborate. But in this specific example, I didn't get his permission ahead of time. Like, I sent him a message and said, this is awesome, I'm going to steal it. And then I tagged him in it. So, like, that was giving credit. Another way is a remix, right? Yep. Jennifer, how do you do a remix? Do you explain
so remixing? Yeah, you go to the reel that you want to make a remix to. There's a remix and there's a sequencing. So remixing is where you take the reel and the first like 5 seconds of that person's reel you cannot edit, but you can add to the rest of it. And so you can find a part in someone else's reel that you have a response to that triggered you in some kind of a way. Then you would go to remix that one section, and at the end of it you would put in your 2 cents.
That's the sequence, right?
Is that sequencing I just described?
Sequence.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where you can take a part of the video and then you can like answer it.
Right, that's what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah.
Remixing, you're doing the same thing. You're hitting that remix option, and you can take it and you can put their video somewhere else in your screen, like a picture-in-picture, if you remember that option on TV. You can have their video showing, and then you can react to it in some kind of a way. You can do a green screen overlay behind you, and you can also do it in just like a picture-in-picture. So on our view right now, on our 2 screens, Candace is above me, and I'm sure it's flipped for her. So in one corner of this screen, we could have each other's own videos if we wanted to remix this live later as an example. And it's just a way to react to somebody's video. That's all that you're doing. If you want to prove somebody else wrong, if you want to add your 2 cents, if you want to, continue that conversation, remixing and sequencing are really great ways where you can draw in the audience of that person's following into your feed. And then they now start to see your content. And it's something, and you can tag that creator as well. You can ask to be a collaborator. It's just another way to get your content seen by someone else's following, which is a really great strategy when you're trying to grow an account.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I was just typing in the comments.
That's okay.
Welcome everybody that just joined. If you have any questions,
Exactly,
throw
so
them
they
in
can
the
watch.
comments, and we'll try and get to it.
Yeah.
Pro tip, something that I've noticed and something that they've talked about in my Instagram creators community is remixing your own reels. So, for example, take a reel that has gone viral, or maybe it didn't, maybe it flopped, or whatever, however you want to redo it, but using your own stuff in that way.
Right. I think there was a creator that I had seen do this, and she posted 3 of her own. And it's 3 of her own past really well received video content pieces in one video that she's redoing. And it's just the same. She's repeating the messaging and showing, I've said this and this and this over and over and over. It's just another style of content that you can make that's from something you've already done. So you're not having to put a whole lot of effort into it, which I think it's really a really great use of repurposing your own content that did perform well in the past.
Right.
And again,
which is actually a great idea for us to do.
Oh yeah.
Or
it's
any
something
social
I think we should do that this week.
Any types of social media managers do a sequence, or anybody do a sequence of like their very first reel, and then do their do a follow-up.
I think that's actually really funny to show what you were like to now. And I was actually going through reels yesterday, and I'm like, oh my God, I have to use this because this is god awful horrible from when I first got started. And I know when you're a beginner getting started learning all of these skills and all of this stuff, it's terrifying. If you don't know what you're doing, you look very scared, and it comes across. And I was looking at those reels, and I'm like, oh my God, I have to share this because I look ridiculously stupid.
But back to using the remixes and the sequences and using other people's content in the proper way, right? Making sure, we talked about making sure you tag them, and we gave an example. We talked about remixing and sequencing their content. You know, the content creators are real people. Like, oh yeah, Jennifer and I are real people. The people that we talk to on a daily basis, that our peers in this arena, are real people. And Rocky, can you go, please? You're being all loud. 9 times out of 10, if you just message them or comment on it and say, this is great, I'm going to use this, or this is great, can I borrow it, or can I tag you in it? 9 times out of 10, they're going to say yeah, or they're not going to respond. So do with that what you want.
Yeah. And I want to kind of point out too that I know Candace had mentioned, if I have glitter eyes, by the way, that would be my children last night, and I didn't get it all off. Makeup
I might
and
have
all
a
that.
towel on my face because I noticed the towel was falling apart on me, like in pieces. I'm like, oh, nice.
If you can plan ahead, like when you're doing your research and you're trying to find content pieces to post, and you find other creators that are similar to your content, this is a really good idea to use that kind of a function. And I know Candace mentioned it was, she's done things outside of her niche, and that's a possibility. But, when you're beginning and you don't have a big following, you're going to, I feel, have a better growth opportunity by going to somebody who's similar to what you're doing and collaborating with them. When you have like more than 10,000 followers, then yeah, pull out other creators and other niches, because what's it going to hurt you after 10,000? You're still testing ideas at that point, but your following is large enough that you can probably do that without it affecting your growth in any kind of a negative way.
Right.
So I just want to do like a caveat to that. If you're brand new, and I don't know who is, creating content on this live, but if you are, drop in the comments below. If you're a beginner, put 1. If you're more experienced or advanced, put it too, because I kind of am curious now, who is here, and what is your experience on creating content rather than just consuming and watching? So that I think is something that there are kind of levels, not exactly, but there are different, like I just got this, I think this all kind of spawned because I received a message from a friend who said, this came from somebody else, and if you want to grow your following, let's do this. Essentially, it's a follow train, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. I
And
didn't get
yeah,
to look at that yet. Let me look at it.
yeah. So essentially a follow train, if you're trying to grow your followers to like 1,000 followers and you want to just have everyone in the world follow you, but your reels are not coming out very well and you're not getting a lot of following from them, but you see that there are people that are doing a follow for follow. Ideally, when you're getting started, that is a confusion mind F for your IG algorithm to do the follow for follow, because you don't know who that other follower is, what their desire for being on Instagram is. You don't know if they follow you, are they people that are going to buy from you or just people that are going to fluff up your number and not really be the audience that you want to be talking to. So be careful of those. It feels really good to see, well, if 15 people follow 15 times and share this to 15 more people, you're going to have 3,375 followers. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't know all of those people. They're not my audience. They're not my avatar customer of who I want watching me.
Yeah.
So it's tantalizing. It's clickbait.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. It feels more like clickbait.
Follow trains, bad.
Bad idea.
Bad,
definitely don't.
Bad. Unless it's like legit, like a creator that you have followed and you're like, I love her. I know, like, I know that most people that follow Bunny XO and that have followed her for a while are like me, or we're very similar in interests, you know, like we're not all going to be exactly the same, but we have similar interests in music and whatever. So I know that if I go to a Facebook page that's private, you know, that's dedicated, and they're like, hey, follow me, then maybe I can look at their accounts and say, oh, okay, yeah, I like their content, and then follow. That's where you can use those follow trains in a great way, because you're really opening your eyes to new people, but you don't hit that follow button unless you absolutely want to follow them. That would be like me following. Here's a great example, personal example. I have the absolute honor and pleasure to be in an Instagram creators community. Every single Friday, we have a live Zoom where it's about, I don't know, any week it's between 30 to 50 Instagram creators from all over the world, globally, creating all kinds of content. We look at each other's content every single week. We don't always follow each other, and that's okay. Nobody gets mad at anybody. It's all about networking, collaboration, and making each other better and helping each other out. But the reason is that our content just doesn't connect, right? I had in my group a couple weeks ago a gamer. That's all he posts, gamer stuff, right? And that would not do anything for me or my account or my niche. Great guy, but he's not posting about himself or his life. He's posting gaming stuff. So I'm like, I'm not gonna follow you. And he's like, no, I get it. But it's like, you get it when you know how important your algorithm and your community and your account is. You understand that it's not about, why aren't you following me? It's really truly about, how can you mold this social media account, this baby that you have to take care of, the things that you search, the things that you click on, the people you follow, the people that follow you, kind of, if you interact with their stuff, but who you're engaging with, the comments you're leaving, that's what these algorithms are going to show you. So that's why I take the follow train in a way that gives me an opportunity to see new people. But I am never hitting that follow button unless I look at their stuff. Oh my gosh, that's me. You know, I relate to this. I want to learn how to do this, blah, blah, blah. So that's just Candace's 2 cents, random Candace thought. I apologize. I was looking down at my phone and my hopefully future son-in-law, my daughter's fiance. I say hopefully, like she has a ring, but it's not an engagement ring. So it's a promise ring, but whatever. But he texted me because and I don't mean to switch subjects, but their GoFundMe reached an amount that will pay their rent this month.
Yay.
Or next month. Yeah. So that is a blessing. And I have to say, for anybody that listens or is listening now or whatever, if you have shared or donated or sent good thoughts or comments or anything about my daughter and the loss of my grandson Oliver, I just want to say thank you so much. It has truly been the most devastating thing I've ever been through. But it has been a blessing now that they have that kind of the rent bill off of their back.
Safety net
just
moment.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I kind of wanted it to get up to 10,000. But I'm happy that it got to where it got and that they at least don't have to stress about that for a little while. And that maybe that gives him a little bit more time to go back to work. He was talking about going back to work Monday, but I mean, Jenna is
grief is grief. You can't put a time limit on it, unfortunately.
No.
And I think and you know what? It's recent still, right? So tomorrow is Friday. It's a whole new payday for a whole new range of people. People that have seen your posts, have seen the shares that I've posted, right? It's floating out there forever on the internet, unless you remove that or archive that. So it's going to be hitting people. And at different times, you know, maybe if you want to continue helping, it's a good idea to reshare it and just say, you know, just a bump up, you know. Yeah. Anybody who, you know, maybe didn't get around to it the first time, it's just another second request, and it can't hurt to ask. It never is hurtful to ask the question.
Yeah.
And I think it's a really great thing that, you know, they have that small worry out of their mind, because that is, again, one less thing that is not overtaking them. And I think of everything that has already been happening, that is one thing that they don't need to have on their mind, especially in the situation that they're in. So, you know, thanks to everybody who's done that, contributed to that, because I know I've shared the request myself, and, you know, my audience, your audience. I think that's amazing that, you know, so many good people are still, we can be strangers, but we're also friendly. And I think that's kind, and that's really amazing of you guys. So
yeah,
awesome.
It's been really like even just small donations. It's like, wow, that person took that time to just donate $10, you know, and like, I'm so grateful for that, because like most of the time people would be like, well, I don't have it, and they wouldn't even waste the time. But like, I don't know, if everybody donated $10, I mean, our community like is 100,000 strong across all of our platforms. $5 per person. Can you imagine?
Right.
But it is what it is. I'm happy.
Yeah.
With where we are. It's been a week, so we're starting to get like back to what life will look like in a more manageable way moving forward, I think is the best way to put it.
It's very well said. Yes, I agree.
I think that's the best way to put it, because there's no there's no other real, like, there's no other way to say it. There's no moving on. There's no, like, yes, you're moving forward, but even forward feels like too strong of a word for me, right?
At this point, I would say it is, because it is all still too raw and real. And it's just time hasn't passed long enough or quickly enough. And I think you're saying it the right way. You're not diminishing how you're feeling, how Jenna's feeling, or the family. And I think it's how you've decided to cope with it. And
Yeah.
that's a really important thing too. Because you could be 180 and it could be going a completely wrong direction right now for everybody in the family. So I think you being mom to your daughter and, experiencing what she's gone through, and I think you're doing a really awesome job as a nana, as a mom, as a future mother-in-law. And I think, it's going to be time that has to happen. And in the meantime of all of that, just moving that one step forward is really all you all can do. And
yeah,
I'm here for it. I'm here to help pull you along when you need it.
thank you. I know you are. I know you are. Heavy is the heart, but we talked about this the other day, but it's hard to get back into creating content, especially for me, because my content is funny, relatable, humorous, that kind of thing. And I did tell you, or we told our group the other day when we had our live, that I lost over 100 followers the day that Oliver passed. 100, which is cool. I get it. Number one, my number one thought is people that were somehow triggered, which I totally understand.
Yeah.
We will cross paths again if we're meant to. That I can completely understand.
Yeah.
The next one is if they just weren't into it, and that's fine, because your content should repel, right, as much as it should attract. I love it. So I was like, and I'm already back up now, like, so it's fine. It's been a week and they left and I'm already back up to where I was before. So cool. Deuces, bro, as my grandson would say.
And I think that's something, that's something to, if it's a worry for you, well, I lost a follower the same day I gained a follower.
Right.
You're not going to notice any of that after you've reached a certain number of people anyway. You're only going to worry about it right now because you're in such a low follower count status. And for me personally, this has been the most agonizing back and forth tennis racket game I've ever watched. And it has taken a lot of, mental awareness to realize this is a good thing because it's telling me something. It is giving me information that some of this content is not meant for some of those people. And I need to know that because I need to know how to make more or how to make less. And all of that is good stuff. And I think we get so caught up in, oh my God, I went viral and now I have thousands of people watching and following. But I don't know what to do with that.
Right.
Well, a lot of people don't know what to do with it. So they just keep thinking, well, I'll just keep going viral. And when it doesn't happen, then you start to get in your mind about, oh my God, why? What is wrong with me? What is wrong with the algorithm? Am I shadow banned? Blah, blah, blah. Right. No, it's just your content for that day hit a lot of people's emotions. And they were just like, holy shit, this person's awesome. And you got to keep that stuff in mind when you're doing your content, when you're becoming that creator that you want to see yourself as in the future. You're going to be on that path of that roller coaster, up and down, up and down, up and down. And there are going to be days where you question the F out of everything. And you're going to say, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Why did these people unfollow me? Then you're going to say, okay, but why did they unfollow me? You have to reframe your questioning. Instead of thinking all the time, do I always have to perform and always go viral? Reframe that question into, how can I always show up genuine and authentic to go viral? There's always a different way to reframe something that concerns you into a more positive outlook so that you have a focus point to work from. And I think that is so valuable for so many of us that are getting started in this game, even intermediates, right? We've been here for a minute, a freaking hot flaming minute, and it's still a journey. And I think everything that's been learned for me personally up to this point, and for Candace as well, it has been eye-opening, right? We've analyzed the crap out of our own content. We've gone through we've done self-audits, we've audited other accounts, we've looked at how others are performing, and it's been eye-opening to see, well, I think this is what happened because of this reason, so how can I improve that? And that's the biggest important thing you can ever ask yourself is, how can I improve? How can I get better? And it's so good to, you know, I love these discussions as well, which we talk about in our group. So I won't get further into it, but I think that's a very important point to bring up.
Amen. And like I think mindset, it always brings me back
80% mindset. Yeah.
And you don't realize it when you first start out. You don't realize it when you first start out because you're like, I'm creating this content. I'm going to make millions of dollars. Yeah. I'm going to do all this stuff. And like, then, and then you're, well, what's wrong with me? Well, what did I do wrong? Well, why did that not work?
Yeah.
Well, is it me? Is it my face? Is it my video? Is it my house? Did I say the wrong thing?
Guilty.
But like mindset. You have to be able to look at yourself and say, no, that's not why. That's not why. Let me look at the content and see what's wrong with the video. Legitimately look at it and think, what, not you, what the actual video. Did you have enough space for your copy? Did you have enough space for your text? Did you have the right music that matched the proper video?
Yes.
You have to analyze those things. And then you look at the words. Did the words make sense? Is it relatable? Do people have a reason to save it or share it or like it? Right?
Yeah.
Like that, you have to be able to look at yourself, and instead of thinking I'm doing all these things wrong and constantly put yourself down, because you're going to be your biggest critic 100% of the time, right?
Oh yeah.
I am my biggest critic. So, but you have to put all that kind of mental self, like,
box that up into something and hide it.
What's the word I'm looking for? Like when you're just putting yourself down, like negative self-talk.
Yeah, there we go.
You have to put all that negative self-talk away, and you have to really focus on the content, because it's not about you. Being on here is not about us.
Correct. I agree.
On here and I'm like, I'm just going to create content all day long. I'm just going to do whatever the heck I want. Some people do, I'm sure. But I know many, many, many creators, and I can tell you that they have strategies and they do things for a reason, and they do it for their audience and their community. They're not out there doing it for themselves.
Yeah. And I think that's something that got away from a lot of people. If you've ever seen that creator cross your feed on, I made $30,000 in 24 hours and I learned how in 2 weeks.
Don't ask me, because I'll
name drop.
Don't ask me, because I'll name drop.
That kind of a creator is there to literally just get you connected enough to just buy the thing they're selling and then ghost you and forget about you ever existing. And those are
selling to you over and over.
Yes.
And over
or
and over.
drag you along enough because they didn't get it.
It
Yeah.
didn't work because you didn't have my Instagram guide. That'll be $29.99.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's that kind of creator that we were all getting really, really tired of seeing in our feed. And it kind of put it just made us stop wanting to be online or stop watching creator content because it was really annoying to have that come up you look at it one time and then Instagram was like, oh my God, they spent time looking. So now they just start throwing all of that kind of content your way until you understand, how to get out of that, which we'll talk about in our group. I think that'll be my topic today, actually.
Oh, nice.
I think that'll be something to, remind yourself of that is if you can smell the sales pitch a mile away, that is exactly what it is, and run. You don't have to buy a digital course to learn any of these things. You can do YouTube University. You can buy all of what you need to or you can get all of the free stuff that you need to. I think honestly, it's just a matter of organizing and strategizing that a lot of people get very lost under. And they don't want to spend $497 on a course that just teaches you how to resell that course. You don't want to spend $2,500 on a business building plan and you don't have a clue on how to even get started creating the content for that plan. Right. So I think that's where we have found that gap on we're trying to help you guys get started without having to buy those big expensive things that you just don't want to you don't know if you can trust it. You don't know if you can buy it or should buy it. And I think with all of the information, it's information overload out here on the internet. And I think if you can find that one community of people, which I'm hoping that'll be us, to help you figure out just how to get started, we're here to answer those kinds of questions because we've done the garbage, we've done the good stuff, and we've been on that path, and we want to help you kind of connect those dots because we didn't get them when we were first starting out and learning all of this stuff. And I think it's really important that you have a community of people where you can actually just ask the question and get a real answer instead of, oh, well, I'll sell it to you.
Right.
If after you've followed me, I'll sell you more of what I know. We're not here to upsell you on anything. We're here to just genuinely answer your freaking question.
Yeah. And not only is it a community where you can ask questions real time, all the time, yep, but there's an entire classroom from beginner to advanced that teaches you everything from content creation to marketing to scaling your business, building your brand, like lives every week. Like
from both of us, we both have our own live. And I'm hoping very soon in the future, we have some guest speakers coming on too.
Yeah.
And that'll be something. List. Yeah, me too. I'm very excited about that part because it isn't just our word of mouth that you have to listen to. You'll have the opportunity to hear from other people like you who did what you are trying to do. And I think that's the ultimate goal, is that we need to hear from other people who are just like us and they ended up succeeding in the way you want to succeed. Yeah. And I find that so motivating just in and of itself. And we've also started our podcasting as well. So we had a little bit of a rocky start in January, but I do realize this will be, a really good year. So follow us too, for our podcast. Yeah. I'm very excited for that. And we will be doing that later today too. I do have to hop off of this live, and I will be seeing everyone very soon inside the group. I hope you have a great day, Miss Candace, and I will talk to you later.
Talk to you soon. Bye. All right, everyone, that's just me. So, yes, our group is really all about helping you learn, helping you grow, and not leaving you behind, right? So, we focus on mindset, and we help you with your content strategy and your marketing technique. And we're there 24/7. So I hope that you will go up to the link in my bio and join the social circle. And we hope to do this once a week, Jennifer and I. That's why I came like straight, not even brushed my hair, no makeup, still in my PJs. So just because it's important for us to do this and answer questions and get back out. So I hope that you all have a wonderful day.